Hello everybody and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I'm just going to give you a quick update of what's happening with some of my seeds what I've planted. You saw me put some seeds in plastic bags with tissue, which was my corn and my peas and my pumpkins and all that. So I'm going to show you a quick update of what's happening with them, and I had to move some of them and bring them up into my bedroom because where they were they didn't like, because the door keeps opening and the coldies keep coming in and out, and they were near to my freezer, so I had to bring them in and put them somewhere else indoors. So I'm going to show you what's happening with them. Right, so at the back there I've got Blue Lake French beans, which you can see none's come through yet, and I've got my mini mop corn in the other tray, which is this tray here. As you can see, some starting to sprout through now. These are the ones what I had to bring up because they weren't doing so well, which is my sweet Bangladesh pumpkin, which is in there, and these are the hybrid pears. So you can see they were coming through, but they were coming through but they didn't like the position where they was in, so I had to bring them in. These was a mixture of different pears of the seeds what were left over. I put them back in the bag, and there's some of them sprouted, so I potted them. So this is a mixture, so this is a lucky dip tray really. As you can see, some are coming on nicely. I think these are crown. No, this is a Jamaica Globe pumpkin. As you can see, that's coming through nicely. The petite pans haven't come through, just starting to come through now. These are petite pans along that side, so they're just starting to come through. You can see some of the these are Cobra bit French beans, they're just starting to sprout. Just trying to remember the names what's on them. These are Cobras as well. This is a Lawhide bean, French bean as well. Some of them are just starting to push underneath, so they come through in there. These are sweet corn rising sun, so that's what I've got up here. So I'm going to go down in my conservatory now and show you what's going on down there, which is a whole different story. Those are what are upstairs. I was going to take these up the allotment and put them in the greenhouse, but I noticed when I went there the zip was down on one side, so that's telling me that someone's been inside. I don't know what they're looking for because nothing in there. Maybe because they've just newly built, they wanted to see what was inside, but they took off one of the shelves and put on the floor, which shows that they were just being nosy. So I hope my allotment ain't like that, where you get people that come and, you know, start disturbing your stuff. So I'm gonna go downstairs and show you what's going on. Right everyone, so I just thought I'd quickly show you. This is in my study. This is on my windowsill, which is one of the orchid. I think they're called dandelion or something like that, orchid. As you can see, I repotted them last year and separated them, and I think when I was away my children repotted some, and you can see one of them's flowering already. I've got those on this windowsill as well. I did put out a thing if anyone wanted some of them, but I've got a few sold, and then there's still root at the side, so once they start rooting they're really skinny. I don't know much about orchids. All I know is that we brought the compost to repot them, and that's the results of what's there. The main plant is downstairs on my kitchen windowsill, so I'll just quickly show you those when I go downstairs, so I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, so these were the mother plants here. I don't know if they're still alive or we just left them in. This is the mother plant as well. You can see these are the side shoots, and this is how they come out. That one's got a root on it already, and the back one is still, swing this around. So these are the new shoots from last repotting. So this is the mother plant. So that's what they look like now. So I'm going to go in my conservatory and show you what those ones look like. Right everyone, so as you can see down in my conservatory now, it's a whole different ball game. I've got my petit pan, I've got the crown princes at the back. There's different variety of pumpkins on that side, and then the skinny ones what you can see are the okras. What's in the big grey pot is a cho-cho, how much it's grown since you saw it last. You can see some of the pumpkins are getting a bit leggy, but I don't know how to keep an eye on them because I put them in those peat pots this time. But someone said to me the peat pot compresses the roots and they don't biodegrade, so you've got to keep an eye on those. So I'll just try and let my cameraman see if he can go in a bit more, so you can see the leaf size are on some of them are getting a bit big. They're a mixture of different pumpkins. Some of them I haven't put the labels on them, but I know they're mostly crown prince and a hybrid pear. I've got petit pan, crown prince. They're just starting to take off already because of the heat what's in there during the daytime. So those are happy where they are at the moment. The ones what was over this side on this board, I had to move them because of the rain. We can't really move anything much because we're having too much rain. I wanted to put most of these things out and then redo in here so that I got more space, which I haven't had time to do. I've got another cho-cho here, what I've got to repot, but the pot's in the car. But I've got to repot this one. I need to get it somewhere up there where there's more heat for it, and that'll come through. You can see it's starting to push through already a little bit. It's just been sitting there at the moment, so that'll come through in a few weeks, like same as that one. So I just need to get them established so I can take them down the allotment. Right, I'm going to go outside and show you what's going on out there. So right everyone, so I'm outside in my garden. I haven't started out here fully yet, but I'm going to be trying and starting that from Monday once the weather's changed. Every time I come out to make a start, it just starts raining. Don't know where this big bunch of grass has come from, but I'll get that out soon. That's my rosemary, what they said only it's not meant to come back, it's only meant to be for one season, but I see it's come back. I've got a bit of parsley here, what's come through, which we don't use that much, and some of my lilies have started to come out, so I've got some weeding up and that to do. These are last year's primroses, they decided to come through and flower. Got my mint coming through, this is thyme, which is dried up I think, so I've got to trim that down. There's some chives in here as well. These I've got to tidy up next week. If we get a break in the weather, I've got some other chives there. These are my onions coming through from when I planted them. They're doing quite well. And these are my shallots in here. As you can see, I've got some strawberries and that in between. So once I'll come out here, I'll just move these and dig straight along. Some of these big pots is what I put my sweet potato in. That's a gooseberry. I thought it died, but this year it decided that it wants to survive. I thought it died, and I had a blueberry in here, which is this, but I think that's dried up, I don't know. That gooseberry, I might take it out of this pot and take that down the allotment, so it'll have more space where I want to put it. You can see a sweet potato in there. That's the one what was inside. It was too big, so it wasn't doing anything, and it was starting to rot a bit, but I brought it out here and put it in some dirt and see what happens. I know it's cold and that, but You will have to bear with it. This is my bleeding heart. Can see it comes up every year. It's really, I've had this for about quite a few years now. It must be about going on 20 years, and it just keeps coming every year. It dies down and then it comes back. So that's a nice plant to have in your garden. It's really hardy. And the strawberries I've had for years, they're just run and spread and then they break off and come back. But I haven't put none up the allotment yet, which I might do. That's what that side looks like. These are my succulents you saw when I planted those. You can see they're doing nicely, coming through nice. Put the white stones around them just for display. So once I get started, then I'll move these to somewhere where I can enjoy them more. They're the succulents. The potatoes now, I can see them starting to come through now, which is very fast for, I think, don't know if because we have been having a lot of rain, but they're starting to burst through now. That was the one where you saw me put a lot of the trial bucket, which I just piled a lot in there, topped them up on top of each other, so they're starting to come through. Because I don't know if we'll get any potatoes from there, because there's quite a lot in there. So those are the potatoes starting to come through. These are the ones that were left over. I just left them out here because they're just sprouted already. Don't know if they'll come to anything now, because these should have been buried. Then you can see my other side of the garden. I haven't done nothing with these big pots yet. This is my, I think that's chard, yeah. As you can see, I cutted some and used some, and it sprung back again. So got to keep an eye on that now, because I can see that it's coming along again. We've got the snails now, what like that. Can see a few primroses what came back from last year. I don't know how that parsley got over to that pot over there, because that was right over the other side of the garden, but it's a bit of parsley come up in there. I've got the weeding up and everything to do over there. We started along the fence, getting all the ivy off, which is a pain in the neck. Plum tree starting to flower again, not as heavy as last year, but I wasn't here to trim it down. I wanted to make it more compact, but it's flowering again. My pear trees are starting to flower now, not as heavy as before. They're quite old now, so nice for juicing and that. So then I've got all my lilies coming through. This one I've had for years. Don't know what that is, but it's still growing. I trimmed it down last year, but it's still surviving. Then I've got my irises coming through. I've got my sedum coming through. So really, I've got a tree what's in the corner there with my rhododendron. I've got to get it out next week. I hope the weather's changed. I've got to chop that tree down before it gets taller. I chop it down every year, but it keeps coming back. It's just a nuisance. And then I've got my guttering and that to clean out. Plants are growing up there, don't know why. And then I've got all these pots and everything which are spare. I'm going to do another potato bucket. I've got these buckets here. I would have taken these up the allotment and put along the back, but I'm just afraid of people coming and nicking them. They cost money, which I haven't got a lot of, but I'm just going to put what I can in these. You'll see as the season go along. Might put a couple of sweet potatoes in these ones, and the one what I usually do here, and then I've got the big one up there. Might put some tomatoes in that there, but I'll see. And as the season goes along, and some carrots and that. I'm not going to be planting any beetroots or anything like that, because I'm just going to be planting stuff what I know we're going to be eating and be using. So that is just the main update of what's going on at the moment. As you can see, I haven't started nothing yet in the garden, but all these pots and everything will be emptied, and I'll get the flowers and everything to put in there. I'll have a bit more space in the garden. Only on this side now I've got more pots of potatoes because we've got the allotment now, so I planted a couple of rows up there to see what happens digging them compared to what you get in the pots. But some people say the pots are more better because they're easier to just turn over and empty instead of you digging. But I've got more space now, so maybe later on I might take some of these bags up there. I've got some of these bags somewhere inside as well. Some of those potato sacks, I might take some up the allotment and put them along the side, or put them in different places. Maybe put some more potatoes in there, or I might put a sweet potato in some of them and put them inside. In the polytunnel, I've got a deeper one of these. I'm shipping barrel and that, which is about this high. Got to get some more compost to fill that up to put some sweet potatoes in there. So that's what's going on at the moment. We haven't got to the container side of it, only the potatoes and that. That's what's going on with the garden at the moment. So I hope you like this one. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Follow along with us. You'll see what we're replanting in some of these containers. Anything what I can get what is different, what I know can grow in containers, then that's what we'll be planting out here. We'll be planting some things along here, maybe tomatoes and that. Got to dig in some manure and that in there. But all that it'll take me a few days to do that because of my back. Everything I do is a bit slow. I have to rest my back as much as I can. And now with the allotment, you can see how it's coming along. I've done what I can for now, but now it's the planting time, which is the easy part of it. And then it's just maintaining the plants as you go along. So remember, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, press the notification bell so you can receive our videos when they come out. If things go along how I like to, then I might be dropping videos 3 times a week once the channel picks up. I'll try and see if I can do a video midweek, which is something different, but keep an eye on the channel and you'll see what's going on. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. Thank you.